Tonight's episode of the 31st Lap Podcast is brought to you by DirtTrackDigest.com. If it's on dirt, it's on Dirt Track Digest.
This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good evening, and welcome to the 31st Lap. This is Chris Marquardt joining you here trackside, or you're in the studio, rather, waiting for John Balmas to answer the phone. Hopefully we'll be able to catch up with him here momentarily. Back that headset down. Whew, that was hot. Real loud right there. Mike is on his way to Lancaster for the Race of Champions Modified Tour event, which is going to be a good time to catch up with him. But the problem is he's on his way there, so we're not going to have the opportunity to talk to him. John, have we got you?
Yep, I'm here.
Got John joining us here on the Dirt Track Digest hotline. Man, welcome. Good to talk to you finally.
Yeah, long time no speak.
How's everything been going in the John Balmas world of racing? I know you've been doing some pretty serious renovations to a house and still trying to squeeze in all that racing action.
Yeah, we've been extremely busy. I know you guys probably feel like I've been avoiding you, but we have been extremely busy, as you know. We bought a house at the end of February, and we had about a 3-month span to get it needed a lot of work, and we had about 3 months to get all the work done before our lease on our current townhouse was up.
Right.
Move in, so we were extremely busy over here at the house just about every day and every evening and whatever, and then between that trying to squeeze in all the racing jobs, and it's been very hectic.
Did you get it all out at all this week? Had some pretty good weather this week so far.
Yeah, so far we've managed to get at least the races that I've had to work. And Saturday I was at Fonda, and then Tuesday I had to work the World of Outlaw Late Model Show at Weedsport, and then last night, of course, the Super Dirt Car Series was at Utica Rome, and then I got to relax today a little bit, and tomorrow, and then it's right back to Fonda on Saturday, and then we got Cornwall for the Super Dirt Car Series on Sunday, and then we're staying in Canada for a couple of days because we got to run Ashweekend on Tuesday with the series, and then Canada on Thursday, and then right back to Fonda again next Saturday. So,
I mean, John, you touched a little bit on some of the upcoming action. This is a very, very, very busy time of year.
Yeah.
Coming off of Kent Barnes and winning over there at the Delaware International Speedway and all the other action that was this week. We had Utica Rome was running, and then we've this weekend we've got tons of stuff. We got Accord on deck, and all the regular weekly tracks are still planning on getting all their action in. Lebanon Valley's got some action coming up next week. 2,500 to win show at 5 Mile Point Speedway. You alluded to Fonda. It's just a packed weekend. 3,000 to win at Thunder Mountain. 5,000 to win at Tri-City. 50 lapper at Grandview coming up next week on the 3rd with all the 4th of July stuff that's on deck. And we had a busy week this week. The World of Outlaws Late Model Tour, Shane Clanton ends up sweeping the World of Outlaws visits through New York State, winning Fonda, and then turn around and winning at Weedsport on Wednesday. Did you get a chance to swing over to that one?
yes, I actually worked both the Fonda shows and the Weedsport shows for the late models.
I mean, he ended up redrawing after he set fast time, won a seat. He redrew the pole and just drove straight away from everybody.
Every late model show I've seen this year, Clanton's won.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe it's me.
yeah, you got to go to more.
Speaking of the late models, I actually just tuned into Dirt Vision. I'm watching hot laps from Lernerville because tonight's the first night of the 3-night show at Lernerville for the Firecracker deal.
Yep, they're going to be busy over there in Lernerville, and then
Doing that as we speak.
the I think it was the Summer Nationals were this weekend too, or last weekend rather.
Well, the Dirt Car UMP Summer Nationals, which of course is also known as the Hell Tour, that is underway. They're in their second week. They got like 31 races in 33 days or something like that. It's something crazy like that.
Yeah, so Shannon Babb picked up a win at Peoria last week.
I think last night was Bobby Pierce. I wanna say. I believe, won whatever night number they're on. I'm not even
Yeah,
sure.
Belclair.
It's been going on for, I think they're in their second week now. So
They
that's
stay
crazy. A whole
they
month
stay
of
busy.
racing, you get like 3 days off.
They earn every bit of what they get out of it.
Yes.
That's for sure. Billy Decker came away with a win at Utica Rome,
Yes,
and
he did.
with the Super Dirt Series Tour. Not a bad win for him. I really got to be honest. I was figuring Matt Shepard was going to walk away with that as good as he's been over there.
I think I think most people figured it would be like a typical Sunday there, the Stewie and Shepard showdown. I think, of course, Stewie started up front and led most of the race, and then kind of faded at the very end. Billy got him, and Stewie fell back to Woody, crossed the line, third or fourth or whatever it was, and then of course I think a lot of people know by now that we had quite a few cautions. There was a lot of tire wear last night, and the guys on his team apparently, these days weight is so important. They cut their fuel really, really close, and
Right.
they obviously cut it too close. He crossed the scales. I believe it was 13 pounds light, and he ended up getting DQ'd. So,
Yep.
it's one of those things. Weight is such a factor these days. These guys really, really cut it as close as they can, and unfortunately, this time it bit them. But yeah, going into it, you expected to see Stewie and Matt kind of duel it out for the win. Matt was, he was around the top 5 early, and then he had tire issues as well as a lot of people did. A lot of guys made pit stops. And, Shepard pitted for 2 rear tires because he started to fade right around the mid portion, and so he pitted for 2 rear tires, and then came back and still had a decent finish in the end. It
And-
was 8th or 9th or something, I think.
Jimmy Phelps coming through with a top 3 showing.
Yes. It was good to see Jimmy get on the podium because he's been decent on the series so far this year, but not, he hasn't set the world on fire. So it was good to see him get a podium finish, and of course Decker, he's been good all year, and that's really not much of a surprise. But yeah, it was a good race. For me, it was a little unusual though to see the tire wear because you don't generally see the tire wear at Utica like that. So I was a little surprised by that, especially being only a 60 lapper.
Right.
Real big rash of flat tires, which was kind of unusual there, but still all in all, a good night, good race. Crowd was pretty good, and the folks at Utica Rome treated us with open arms and were really good, and they were glad to have us back after whatever it was, a 12-year hiatus, I think.
Yeah, it was 12 years, long time.
Sounded like they're excited, and hopefully they'll have us back again next year.
This has turned into a busy stretch for the Super Dirt Car Series. A couple thoughts come to mind there. We'll get on the topic of yellow flags over at Black Rock, and then we'll talk a little bit about another one of the Gypsum drivers that's been on a bit of a hot streak. But first, we'll recap a little bit of what the Super Dirt Car Series has in store. Sunday, the tour goes to Cornwall, and then from there they go to Ohsweken on the 30th, and then July the 2nd they're back at Canandaigua.
Yep.
So those guys are going to be busy. And we talked about Mike on his way up to...
He's going to Lancaster, right?
Yeah, he's got the ROC Modified Tour, and those guys were scheduled a couple times now to be at Spencer Speedway, but that event keeps getting rained out every chance they take at running that. That thing's now been moved all the way out into July.
I tell you, it's been tough. I mean, it's funny because it seems like it rains every damn day, recently here, and somehow, when it comes to the Super Dirt Car Series, somehow we've managed to dodge the raindrops thus far. I mean, obviously we've got a long way to go, long season, but so far we've managed to dodge the raindrop as much as it has been raining. It just seems like it rains
Right.
every day. I mean, I don't know what you got out your way today, but we actually had a couple of showers this afternoon here in Syracuse. It just seems like every day it rains.
It's been rough.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the world. I'm trying to find that note here about the July the 24th is when the 100 lap Race of Champions qualifier is going to be at Spencer Speedway out in Williamson. So that set the stage for a pretty good night over there at Spencer Speedway. They had a couple brothers, the Catalanos, Tommy and Timmy, ended up sharing victory lane over there. I don't know if you caught talking about the asphalt stuff. Oswego Speedway had the Twin 35s back on the schedule here last weekend, and Otto Sidderly, he looked awful good.
Not much of a surprise. Otto's the dominant guy over there as far as the super skill, that's for sure.
Well, did you catch the dead heat finish?
No, I did not.
He won the first 35 lapper, and then he started 12th in the second. He chipped away, as he does, and caught Mike Muldoon late, and dove to the bottom in turn 4 and came to the line in a dead heat. Now, way back when, whatever, dead heats were up for opinion. They were called, but I mean, now we've got actual transponders and stuff, and we've got a dead heat. A tie, a legit tie, and it's only the
But
second.
they ended up calling it was a dead heat.
Yeah. True to form, it was they were even.
Wow, that
And-
is hard to do with, like you said, with today's technology, with transponders and stuff. The dead heat stuff is almost nil.
Right.
But that's funny though, because
We had like 2 of them last year. Danny Johnson had one, I think, at Penn Can last year,
yeah,
or was it the year before? In any case, but
it was last year. Yeah, I think was it a Deo show, or I can't remember. I know I was at the race. It was at Penn Can.
yeah,
And it's funny because that's like 2 years in a row now that in our area, at least in our world here, we've had a dead heat. That's funny.
I thought we had one at Brewerton last year too.
They might have.
That we had a stretch where there was maybe 2 or 3 of them right there in a couple week period, and then they've gone off the radar now until we come back here to Oswego. This is only the second one ever. The other one was in June of 1997. Doug Dodaro and Eddie Bellinger were the co-winners. The other instance of a dead heat, which ended up getting a winner crown, was all the way back in 1969. It was Jack Greedy, and of course, if you could dare to guess a name that would possibly involved with a photo finish at Oswego,
Jimmy Champagne.
Jim Champagne. They were locked in a photo finish, and this was one of the rare instances where Jim Champagne did not win. That Jack Greedy was named the winner in 1969. It took a week before they decided it. Otto Sidderly has 4 wins now this year at Oswego. Josh Kerr won the small blocks. We talked about the Gypsum guys looking good and running strong. How about Larry White over at Brewerton, over at Fulton?
Fulton, yeah. I don't know what they found over there, but it seems like every time I get the results, because of course, like I said, I'm at Fonda on Saturdays, but Mallet always does a great job at tweeting out results and stuff. And it seems like every Saturday I'll be standing at Fonda and he'll tweet the results from different tracks. And it seems like recently, every time he tweets the results from Fulton, it's Larry White at the top of the board.
Yeah, he didn't do so bad.
They've found something over there. I'm not sure what, but man, they seem to have it rolling over there. And Larry, he was one of those guys that pitted late. Well, late, I say late. Pitted around the midpoint of the race yesterday because of tire issues, and came back to finish on the podium last night at Utica too. He's been running pretty well lately. He's
looking very good. He performed well in the sprint car, and then turned around and he won the modified portion of that ESS date back there, or excuse me, the sprint car date over there at Fulton Speedway, and has won every modified feature there since. Matt Shepard.
That night they had the sprints. He won the modified and the sprints the same night, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep, if you can believe it. He's been doing okay, but ESS Empire Super Sprints have been beat up by the rain pretty bad this year.
Yes, they have.
They've been just
feel bad for Dino and those guys, because they really had a hell of a time trying to get their season started.
Once they get going, they'll get the momentum that we're accustomed to seeing. But man, they're fighting. We're coming up on Speed Week here pretty soon. We're going to be really busy with 360 sprint cars in the Central New York area.
Hopefully the weather cooperates next week for those guys, because they deserve to get some shows in.
Because Chuck Hebing needs more wins.
Yeah. He didn't win last week though, did he?
No.
At the Valley.
No, he did not.
That was a rough night from what I've gathered.
He was. I think he was happy to be leaving Lebanon Valley.
Yeah, I know both the Axtons had some pretty big issues at the Valley. I think they both got upset. One of them went out of the ballpark.
Not good.
I thought I heard that Hebing got maybe on his lid too. I forget. There was quite a few wrecks there, but
we're
glad to get out of there.
Let's circle over there to that topic of a lot of wrecks. Black Rock having some problems. On Jeffy Searles' night, a fan who passed away during the offseason. Emotional win, Jared Hill coming away in the street stock feature, getting past Nate Daggett. Nate Daggett was driving a Sutherland chassis, and Hill used to drive for Jim Schuyler. Hill and Schuyler got close to Jeffy, and Jeffy was tight with the Sutherland, so that whole thing, no matter what happened, it was going to be good for those guys in victory lane. Jared Hill ends up coming away with the win. Steve Payne with a pass with 3 laps to go, getting by Ron Cartwright to come away with the win. But the IMCA Modifieds, they struggled. They struggled mightily. They had a ton of cautions early on. I missed the total here as we're talking about it, but the IMCA field as a whole was put to the infield after something like 4 completed laps and 7 cautions, or something absurd. So they put them on the infield and said, just wait here. Let the modifieds do it. Maybe you can take some notes and then come on back out. Well, they gave them 20 minutes to go, and they only completed 3 more green flag laps in conjunction with 3 cautions, which was not good. John Benjamin was deemed the winner after only 9 completed green flag laps or something crazy. Wasn't good.
Ouch.
And then after that, their night was complete. They weren't able to run another feature due to circumstances at the track. They've got a ton of schedule changes now that are on deck. Sunday they released that the Sportsman division is going to make up their feature from Friday the 19th tomorrow. The Street Stocks are making up their feature from June 6th tomorrow as well. And then on July 3rd, which is the $10,000 fireworks display, is now going to have the 4-cylinder makeup feature and the modified makeup feature. So July 3rd, double features for the modifieds over there at Black Rock, which will be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, that'll be a good show.
On the topic of Steve Payne, he comes away with a 3rd place showing at Canandaigua. Matt Shepard got the win over there. And Matt did pretty well. I'm trying to find it here on Friday night stuff. I thought Matt won over Brewerton. Yeah, he had a stretch where he was not quite performing up to par, but he corrected that and took a win that he had a edge of more than 4 seconds. It was his 3rd win over there at Brewerton this year.
I have not seen many of the results, only a couple of times, from Black Rock as far as their weekly program. How have they been doing with car counts?
They've been doing strong. I mean, they've got a lot of divisions over there, so their car count numbers are going to be skewed a little bit, but they've got solid fields. The changes that they made have been well received. The modifieds are drawing good numbers, and it's been very, very competitive. Steve Payne, typically over there.
Back has got to be a big boost for them.
Well, yeah. I mean, because you either love the guy or you hate the guy. But Steve, when the modifieds were talking about coming back, they weren't bringing back the 358s. They were bringing back the big blocks, and I fully expected Steve to go the way of the small block, but instead he's got a smaller big block motor that he's put in that, and he's had some pretty good luck with it. He's got a couple wins over there, and he's been running very well. And he told me the other day when I was talking to him that his performances at Canandaigua have been as good as they've ever been. He feels like he's got a solid piece underneath him, and it's just a matter of making the decision of when to go outside or inside is what's been plaguing him. A couple weeks ago, he decided to try the top, and a couple guys got by him, and he ended up finishing right behind them. Yep. This week, he stayed on the bottom instead of going to the top. He got passed by 2 cars, and he sat 3rd the rest of the night. So, I mean, he had and he was running down Gary Tompkins, who got 2nd. And Gary's had a great year over there at Canandaigua as well.
It's a tough field to give up 2 spots and try to make back up.
Yeah. If you're coming from the back, you can pass cars easy. But if you're already halfway up there, you gotta pass cars in front of you that are decent, and you got the world coming behind you.
Yep, for sure.
And do you like the late models?
Do I?
Yeah, I just happened to catch another clip of some late model news here.
I enjoy, like I said this the other night. We were talking about late models because again, I worked the late model show at Fonda, and I worked the one at Weedsport. And some people make comments how I thought the crowds were a little down, being that it is a late models, a bigger show. They were a little surprised that there weren't more people there in attendance. But I don't. Myself, it's just my opinion. I don't really understand it. I mean, I love dirt track racing in general, so I don't know why anybody wouldn't be interested in the modifieds or in the late models. I mean, I know we're in modified country, and for a lot of people, if they only go to their weekly home tracks, wherever that may be, and they basically go to watch modifieds because that's what they know, and they don't know a lot about the late models, I guess they just sometimes don't want to spend whatever it is to get in $30, $35, $40, whatever, to get in an individual show for one. And if they don't know a lot of the drivers, it's just a shame because, I mean, it's still great dirt track racing. Dirt track racing is dirt track racing,
Right.
So
Cornwall's got the Super Dirt Series up there on Sunday. Thunder Mountain is the Short Track Super Series show, 3,000 to win. And Billy Van Pelt, having won earlier this year at Black Rock in that midweek modified special that they had, he's got a guaranteed starting position, I believe, at Thunder Mountain, which has got to bode well for him.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty decent show. If it wasn't for obviously the Super Dirt Car Series Sunday being in Cornwall, if I was home Sunday, I probably would have planned on going to that show. I think it'll be a decent show. I know I talked to Mike Mahaney last night, and I asked him what he was going to do because of obviously Utica races on Sundays, and with Stewie and Matt and Pat Ward and Larry White, their commitments to the Super Dirt Car Series, they're all going to be in Cornwall. It kind of opens the door for some of these guys at Utica to maybe pick up a win, because like we were talking earlier, it seems to be the Stewie and Matt show, and then you throw in the occasional it's Larry or maybe Pat or even Mahaney or somebody. But overall, it seems like it's either Stewie or Matt. And with those guys gone, it kind of opens the door. So I asked Mahaney last night what he was going to do. Was he going to stick with Utica, or is he going to go to Thunder Mountain? And he told me he was going to go to Thunder Mountain. So I think that show would be pretty decent, because those Dale shows typically show you that the little guy has a chance, and it always seems like there's always a surprise winner. I mean, you look at Danny Creedon, for instance, this year.
Mm-hmm.
What's he got, like 3 Dale wins so far
Right.
this year? Couple at Accord and one in New Egypt, I believe.
Right.
I mean, who would have predicted that?
But that's the thing that Brett's always done with his shows is he's found a way somehow to even the playing field, and it gives those guys that you've never heard of an opportunity to be an all-star.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Sunday's show at Thunder Mountain, I think should be a good show. And because we will be in Cornwall with the series, that a lot of those big name drivers that most people expect to win all the races won't, they won't be in attendance for that show. So, you'll don't be surprised you get another one of those deals where it's a big surprise in Victory Lane. Like, holy crap, so-and-so won the Thunder Mountain show, That's what makes those shows fun.
Answering a question for somebody here real quick. They are inquiring about some graphic stuff. So just answering them quickly. Try and handle everybody's.
Have some. You got a decent crowd on the chat tonight.
Yeah. It's been pretty good for the most part. I mean, actually it's a good time we can bring this stuff up. Programming note: we're going to be off next week, and then the week of the 13th of July we're going to be off as well. I got to have some stuff carved out of my jaw. I got to do some surgery and take this big.
Sound like fun.
No, it's not going to be fun. I'm going to be down for about a week, I think, and it's all right. I mean, we should be pretty good, but I'm not going to really be. The surgery's Monday, and they're going to go in there, and I got this big thing that's growing underneath my jaw, on the side of my neck here, and they're going to cut that out, get that out of the way, and I'm not going to really feel a whole lot like talking, given that there's going to be a hole that goes from the inside of my mouth to the outside of my mouth.
I can imagine.
So we're going to take that week off from the crash course.
The next 2 Wednesdays or 2 of the next 3?
2 of the next 3. 2 of the next 3. We're going to be off next week. I'm going to be out of town next week on the 2nd. We'll be back on the 9th, and then we're going to be off again on the 16th.
Gotcha.
Mike got confused on it a little bit. He's
got a lot going on.
Yeah, he got it backwards. He thought we were off this week and on next week, and I cleared that up for him when I talked to him on the phone. And he was excited to get down to Lancaster, I think. He sounded pretty into it.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be a good show, I'm sure. That's one place I've not been to Lancaster yet.
Really?
Yeah. I'm by it tons of times on the thruway. I see it there, but I've been there for a race. One of these days, it's on the bucket list. Your
Perfect.
favorite term.
It is. I'm excited that you're able to squeeze that in. When are we going to see you in studio again?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to eat. I had my mouth full.
Yeah. Fair enough. When are we going to see you again?
That's a very good question.
Yeah. Go on.
Who the hell knows? I got to look at my schedule.
All
I know
right.
it won't be next Thursday. Obviously, you're going to be off, but
Right.
at Canandaigua anyway. So
I mean, you're welcome to come up if you want to. I'm not going to be here.
Let's see, the following Thursday, where are we the next week? I think I'm at Mohawk, I think.
Hang on, I'll pull the super schedule up. I'll take a look.
I think we're at Mohawk.
You're at Mohawk, yeah. Yeah, Albany Saratoga's on Friday, and then on the 7th, on the 7th, Albany Saratoga, and then that Thursday is Mohawk.
Yep. So the next 2 Thursdays, we got series races. What's after that? Anything on the following
That's the
Thursday?
13th, and I'm not going to be doing a show. There's nothing on the schedule, of course, but we're not going to be doing a show because
We're showing the 16th, that's right.
I'm going to be holding the inside of my mouth in
So I guess you won't see me in the next 3 weeks then.
at least. It'll work out. Looks like we're off. Looks like we're open on the 20th. We'll have to see what's going on there. Maybe we can get together.
Yes.
But, yeah, so where are they at in terms of that Lernerville program right now?
They're doing time trials.
Still doing those?
Yep. Actually, they might have just wrapped up. I'm not sure. Nope, there's more cars coming out on the track.
Right on.
Trials.
Well, we covered a little bit of ground, short and sweet version. If you want to get back to that, we got to go. What else do you want to hit on tonight? I'm just excited to have you on here. I haven't talked to you in months.
I know, it's been a while. Too long. Way too long. I know there's been a lot going on, of course, obviously, in the sprint car world. They're in the middle of, while they're wrapping up Ohio Sprint Week. They're the All-Stars. Tonight they're at Fremont, I believe. And then, of course, All-Stars Ohio Sprint Week started last Friday, and they run every single night through this, I believe, Saturday is the final night.
Yep.
And so tonight is night number 6, I guess.
They're busy. It's insane because after they wrap up with the Speed Week in Ohio, they turn around, they come to Pennsylvania, and do the same thing.
Yeah, PA Sprint Week starts, I believe, tomorrow.
Yep, that rolls off tomorrow. And Mike was talking last week about I think Stevie Smith. He ended up running all of Ohio and then all of Pennsylvania at one point, which was crazy. And then just as soon as Pennsylvania wraps up, New York kicks off with the 360s.
Yeah, right. That's true.
It's a good time to be a sprint car fan.
It is. There's a lot of sprint car racing going on as far as, from the Indiana to the, to New York range. Car lovers, whether it be winged or non-winged, there's a lot going on. Indiana Midget Week just wrapped up a couple of weeks ago, and then they do next month. They have USAC Sprint Week. So and as we stated, you got the ESS Central New York Speed Week starting next week, and then PA Sprint Week for the 410 starts, I believe, tomorrow, and Ohio Sprint Week is just wrapping up this weekend, and a lot of sprint car racing for those sprint car lovers within a range of several hours radius.
Right. It's all day trip doable.
Yeah.
Depends on how much you want to drive at night.
And that's the thing. That's what makes those Speed Week type of deals neat. Is that you're in a different town, a different track every night, and it's fun to do if you're a race fan and it's something you've never done is follow like one of those Speed Weeks or even a portion of the Speed Week.
Right.
Like Mike and I have gone to Ohio Sprint Week 2 years in a row, and we went from Monday through Friday, and it was it's pretty neat going 4 or 5 nights in a row and being in a different track each night, and it's a pretty neat deal.
I know that was one of the charms of following the tour when I was doing that. Be it with the Outlaws or be it with the Modifieds.
Yeah.
It was a ton of fun. The 358 tour, it was a ball. I mean, one night you're here, the next night you're there, and then you're still squeezing in your local tracks. It was a ton of fun. I mean, it was exhausting. Don't get me wrong, but it was a ton of fun.
Yep, that is true. That's kind of what I've been going through here the last few days. I'm on for a couple nights, and then I get a day or two up, but then I'm boom right back at it again for another couple nights in a row. And I got like a 2.5 week stretch where I'm on 12, 13, 14 days out of 21 or something. It's crazy.
Right.
It's crazy.
You burned out on it yet?
Hell no. No, not at all.
There's no way.
No, love it. That's
Awesome.
why when I talk about the Hell Tour that, of course, the UMP late models are going through right now, just one day, or, 1 year, one time I would like to do that whole stretch. It would be neat. I know I saw, before the Hell Tour started, they put out a press release. If you went to every show and traveled, to each different track each night, it was like, I forget how many thousand miles you would drive to go
Jeez.
to and from each. Because, like I said, it was like 30 shows in 33 days or something like that.
Right.
And it was like several thousand miles you would travel if you hit every single one of them. I mean, that's pretty wild.
Yep.
It'd take a hell, just as never mind a race team, just as a fan, to try to do the whole thing. It's pretty big budget right there, because you're literally living on the road for a month. I mean, you'd almost have to have a motorhome or camper, to go around with to try to do that and stay in motels every single night. That would be tough. It'd be awfully expensive. I know that. But it would be cool to do it just once. I don't know that I'd want to do it every year because that's pretty grueling.
Well, don't you? I mean, you don't have to do the travel. You don't have to do the travel, but don't you essentially do that when you go out to the Chili Bowl?
Yeah, but it's
You
all
just get
one week.
you just get sensory overload with racing. It's just confined in one spot.
You definitely get your fill of racing in that week.
Right.
There's no doubt. Speaking of, I don't know if you know this, that we are going. After not being there the last 4 years, we are finally going back in 2016.
That's awesome. Congratulations, man.
My tickets are in-house. I got them a couple of weeks ago in the mail, and I can't wait. Counting the days down.
Let's enjoy summer first a little bit first there.
Yeah. I won't rush the summer away, but
I fully anticipate a phone call at the minimum while you're out there.
while I'm out there,
Yeah.
all right, we'll have to make arrangements to do that.
Either that or use your phone and get some Skype action going on so you can show us what the track looks like and all that other stuff.
Actually, I have a new, what do they call it, my phone or whatever the hell it's called. What's that thing called?
iPhone. Smartphone?
Phone, that's it. iPhone, my phone, your phone, whatever the hell they call that thing. I have one of them now.
You're an old man. You do know that, right?
And I'm still trying to figure out how to use it.
Well, give it to the nearest 12-year-old. Have them program it, and they'll give it back to you, hopefully. And then you can weigh in, and you got a long time to learn it. You got a long time. It's not until January.
That thing has a thing called like FaceTime or something.
Yes.
So if somebody else has a iPhone, it has that FaceTime thing. Like you can talk to them like under video. Like you can see them while you talk to them. I had a friend that had an iPhone, and neither one of us had ever used it before, so we experimented with it and tried to figure out how to use it.
That had to be a heck of a show, watching you two try and figure that out.
We did figure it out, and we used it for a couple of seconds just to see how it worked. So I do know that it works.
Excellent. That's a huge step.
So, if you have...
I'll work on getting FaceTime loaded on the computer here, and maybe we'll see if we can't make that
If
happen.
you have a thing where you can do that, I can, do a little live remote at the track.
If we can get you into the studio, we'll set your phone up so that it has Skype on it, and then you can talk to Mike and I all at the same time.
That's fine. What do you got, like download or something?
Something like that. It's not hard, but I'm afraid you're going to make it really complicated.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I would. No.
Excellent. Well, yeah, I mean, that'd be good. Or either that or just swing over to Mike's house some night. He Skypes in. You guys can just sit real close on the couch and have the laptop there together, and you guys can both be on.
The odds of that happening are pretty slim.
Yeah, I assumed.
I'm not snuggling up on no couch with Mallet. He's not my type.
So many different directions we could go with that. So many. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm glad the season's going so well, and I'm good to see that you're not burned out on it at all, and that you're going to be able to get back over there to the Chili Bowl again. It's good. That's a good deal.
I can't wait. the missus and I are going, and we're actually bringing another couple with us. Todd Conant and his wife Kim will be Chili Bowl rookies.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I always love getting people to, over the years that we've gone, we've brought different people with us over the years, and I always love getting somebody there for the first time and just seeing their face and seeing their expressions and see what they think of the whole week. And because because you've heard me talk about it over and over and over again.
Words do it no justice.
That's just I can talk about it till I'm blue in the face, but if I actually get somebody there and then I see their response and see what they think of it, and that's what's the most gratifying, is because they'll walk away like I did my first time, just in awe and like, holy crap, this was amazing, and that it kind of makes all the bragging about it almost valid,
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good time.
Well, we've done it. We've covered about a half hour here. We hit on a lot of stuff. What do you think? You want to get back to watching your late models?
Whenever you're ready.
I mean, is there anything else that you wanted to hit on?
They're showing commercials on the broadcast right now, so everybody tune into Dirt Vision. Go get the Firecracker live pay-per-view package.
It's a good one. Gotta love those late models, John.
It's on right now. Heats will be coming up shortly, and also the ASCS National Tour has a three-day deal starting also tonight at Skagit Speedway out on the West Coast.
Jeez.
And RacingBoys.com is bringing the all 3 nights live pay-per-view beginning tonight, 10 o'clock East. I know it's late, obviously, because they're on the West Coast. Us East Coasters are, it'll be a late broadcast, but anybody that wants to see some 360 wing sprint car racing, ASCS National Tour is a pretty good series, and Racing Boys does a great job doing pay-per-views. So
nice.
That starts 10 o'clock tonight, RacingBoys.com.
Sounds good, man. Well, I appreciate you making some time for us. And
after Dirt Vision's done.
Glad everything's going well with the house, and look forward to catching up with you here soon.
Yes, very good.
Awesome, man. There goes, thanks for coming in.
All right, Chris.
We'll see ya. There goes John Balmas, who we hope to see here towards the end of July, I think, somewhere around the 20th maybe. We'll finally get the chance to catch up with him again in studio. About a month away. Again, the programming note that you want to make aware of, put it on the calendar. Next Thursday, we're going to be off. We'll be back the week of the 9th, and then we're going to be off again on the 16th of July. But that's going to do it for this edition of the 31st Lap. Good to hang out with everybody again this week. And we'll see you here just before the 4th of July. Coming up here, the week after the 4th of July. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon. Whoops.